Alright, so this is probably the longest cut I've ever done. This will actually end up being 3 of the main bodies, but there's enough inside the chuck for this third one. I'm going to try doing a single pass down the whole thing. I want to see if there's any chatter or anything. I'm going to double check my measurements. Alright, and here it goes. It's just going to be basically a cleanup pass to get the mill scale off of it and get it down to approximate size. I only got about 10 to 12 thou to work with, so I can't take off a lot. It'll probably end up being slightly undersized from what the spec is, just because the spec, at least from the diagram that I drew up, was 1.5 inches. This is 1.5 inch aluminum. There's a little bit of oversize, but it's very nominal. I'm going to take that down. I might end up 10 or 15 thou under. Again, not a critical dimension. You know, it doesn't have a thread into anything. It's just cosmetic, and 10 or 15 thou isn't something you could actually visually see without actual taking measurements. So let's give it a try. Alright, so my camera hates me and it shut off again. I took the measurements. We got about 465 to 485-ish from end to end, so after, it's about 30 inches I think, maybe a little bit more, maybe 31, 32 inches. 20 thou over that length on a nearly 70-year-old machine, 65-year-old machine. That should be acceptable, I think. So the next steps, you actually put layout dye on everything, and then I'm gonna, because most all of this stuff is just the little cosmetic pieces, so you know, I'll be able to, basically I'll turn the entire thing blue, and I'll come in with my mics, and I'll actually score, you know, I'll take a measurement here, and then I can come in here, and it'll just scratch the blue off, and then the silver will come underneath, and I'll do it in all the spots where something actually needs to be done. Here I got to be careful. I got to check my drawing. Yep, this one's messed up. So it should be 2 narrows, and then a wide, and then 1 narrow, and then 3 wide and a narrow. So I got my ordering messed up there when I was doing this one on the prototype. So I got my drawing on the wall over there. You can always refer to that. And let me go ahead and get it blued. Alright, so I put the lathe in back gears, mainly just so it'll turn slow while I put the bluing on. This is the stuff we're going to put on. It's just called a layout fluid. And it smells. I'm pretty sure it's basically the same thing they use in whiteboards. It really smells like whiteboard markers. Alright, we should be good and dry. So I'm going to start off doing the ribbed section over here. I'm going to go ahead and move the camera over so that it works a little better. Alright, so this will be our first section here that we're going to do. I'm going to start off, I'm going to do the ribbed section here, so it'll be kind of backwards from what the drawing looked like. just flipped around, you know, it's still perfectly valid. The first section, the whole rib section, is 3.114 inches. So I do want a little bit to clean up here. So I'm going to go ahead and add about 40 thou to that. So we'll make it 3154. 3154. Right there. So now we know that we got to start 40 thou over for all of our other measurements as well. So for this, I'm going to go ahead, turn it on, and scribe where that line is. You can kind of see where it's wobbling a little bit. That's because this side hasn't been faced off yet. That's why I needed that extra 40 thou so that I can actually cut into that. Alright, and I kind of forgot, this actually does have to be neck down. It's got another radius of 1.46. So I've actually got to neck this down, then I'll have to re-blue it again in order to do the next cut. So let me get set up for that. Alright, so this neck down section is about 40 thou smaller than this section, so I'm going to go ahead and start on that. And here I'll just be cutting to that line. Really tight down at this end of the lathe. The carriage doesn't get moved up and down here so much. I think compared to the other end, it's pretty snug. One more little tiny pass. And this will be done, and then I'll be able to re-blue this. And then I can start the layout for each of the grooves. Alright, so I got it blued here, and I hit this with the Scotch-Brite pad. Take some of the blue off so you can kind of see where that transition is. The only other piece to mark is going to be that little banded section over here. So I'll do that a little bit later. For now, I'm going to go ahead and score in all of these guys here. So the way I'm going to do that, I'll use my calipers, I'll set it to the right length, and then I'll just score it here. So we'll start off close, you know, then I'll move in and score. And then that way I'll know exactly where to line up my tool and cut each of those plunge cuts. Alright, so the goal on this part is we'll be using this 45-degree bit and line it up right on the tip of the bit, right on the lines. And then I'm going to plunge in 100 thou, which is the depth of cut. So let me set up my speeds and get ready to go.